My nephew made a seemingly innocent request, but what unfolded next took me completely by surprise. For reasons I couldn't quite fathom, I found myself convinced that it was just another mundane afternoon, unaware of the secrets that lingered in the air. It was one of those days when a hushed calm wrapped around the world, and an intoxicating peace lingered in the air, inviting secrets to dance just beneath the surface. After a long day at work, exhaustion wrapped around me like a heavy cloak, leading me to the enticing thought of surrendering to a warm, inviting bath that promised to wash away the day's burdens. The tender embrace of the water surrounded me, as the delicate steam turned the unassuming bathroom into a sanctuary of intimacy and solace. Unbeknownst to me, in just a fleeting instant, my world would be transformed forever, entwining my fate with the unexpected. The stillness that enveloped the house was both haunting and alluring. The soft hum of the television wafted in from the next room, where my sister Vanessa's mother was probably lost in the allure of her favorite show. For the past few days, my enchanting nephew Vanessa has been staying with me, bringing an air of intrigue to my home. He possesses a quiet demeanor, exuding an air of propriety that hints at deeper passions beneath the surface. His kindness was undeniable, yet there lingered an enigmatic quality about him that stirred a subtle disquiet within me, one I could never fully grasp. As I sank deeper into the bath, the inviting warmth wrapped around me, melting away the tension that clung to my muscles. I closed my eyes, letting out a heavy sigh that carried the weight of unspoken desires. The week had been a whirlwind, igniting a deep longing within me for a sanctuary, a fleeting moment to slip away and allow the weight of the world to dissolve into nothingness. Yet, as I surrendered to the darkness behind my eyelids, a soft whisper of movement caressed the air, weaving its way into my consciousness. At first it felt inconsequential, a mere flicker in the shadows of my thoughts. I first brushed it off as the house shifting or a mere draft making the windows tremble, yet it returned, a delicate footstep that hinted at a presence inching closer to the bathroom. I remained frozen, my heart pounding as I listened intently for every whisper in the air. The bathroom door was firmly locked, a promise of privacy that kept the outside world at bay. Wouldn't you agree? The footsteps echoed in the dimly lit hallway, and soon the tantalizing sound of the doorknob turning sent a shiver down my spine. A subtle twist of unease stirred within me, igniting a tension that felt both thrilling and unsettling. Who graced the gathering with their presence? Could it be that Tyler is the one? I whispered his name, but silence lingered in the air, thick with unspoken desires. A tantalizing tension enveloped me as I lingered in that moment, caught between the allure of waiting and the daring temptation to push the door open. The tension hung thick in the air, a delicious torment that stirred the senses. The water, once an intoxicating embrace, now felt suffocating as my thoughts twirled in a desperate waltz. Were they merely pawns in a playful game? Or was there a darker, more alluring secret lurking beneath the surface? In that moment I was enveloped by the soft, intimate lilt of Vanessa's voice as it called out to me, while he whispered with a hush so delicate that his words barely brushed against my ears. A tantalizing shiver ran through me. Yet, what drove him to lean in and whisper softly? His voice had never carried such an enchanting allure before. My heart raced as I fought to keep my composure, the air around us heavy with an intoxicating tension that felt almost forbidden. That was the understanding I craved. At long last, I stepped out from the shadows of my confinement. What is it that stirs within you, Vanessa? Even with the subtle quiver in my voice, he eventually shattered the stillness that lingered between us after what felt like an eternity. Your presence has become a necessity in my life. His tone carried a depth that transcended the innocent curiosity usually present in a child's request. It adopted a more fervent tone, as if it were pleading with an intensity that stirred something deep within. As I drew in a deep breath, my fingers tightened around the porcelain, grasping the edge of the tub with an undeniable urgency. Were my thoughts entwined in a web of confusion, or had Vanessa's demeanor shifted into something darker, more alluring? Step inside. At last I found my voice, shattering the heavy silence that enveloped us. As I turned, my eyes were drawn to him, standing in the doorway, his slight form enveloped by the radiant light that surrounded him. The door slowly creaked open, unveiling the secrets that awaited on the other side. I recognized him as my cherished nephew, yet an intriguing tension lingered in his gaze. They appeared more enigmatic, as though he were guarding a hidden truth. I blinked, ensnared in a fleeting moment of doubt, questioning whether it was simply exhaustion or the whispers of a restless imagination stirring within me. Yet, as he drew near, an unsettling thrill coursed through me, igniting a spark of anticipation that was both exhilarating and forbidden. His face twisted, not with jest, but in a manner that was strikingly new and intriguing. Aunt Vanessa whispered a secret, her voice barely breaking the silence. Just as I thought you might finally see me. He drew closer to the edge of the tub, the air thick with unspoken tension. Your days are endlessly occupied. Yet here I am, yearning for the warmth of your company right now. His way of speaking held an unsettling allure, each word weaving a tapestry of intrigue that danced just beyond the edge of understanding. A wave of nausea enveloped me as I came to the unsettling realization that the boy standing before me was neither my cousin, nor the familiar visage I once cherished. This was far beyond the innocence of youthful games. My desires whispered for me to move, yet my body lingered in a tantalizing stillness. As Vanessa approached, his fingers grazed my shoulder, and his breath, cold and disquieting, sent a thrilling shiver racing through my body. Though I longed to put space between us, an invisible force kept pulling me closer, ensnaring my heart in a web of desire. His voice flowed with an unexpected calmness, each word dripping with a steady intensity that held an unspoken allure. I always believed you would come to understand it as well. I cannot bear the thought of saying goodbye to you right now. The air was thick with an electric tension, making every inhalation a tantalizing challenge. What was being revealed in the shadows? What stirred within Vanessa to elicit such behavior? Was he simply playing a game, or had he truly changed in ways that stirred something deeper within her? Keeping my composure became an intricate dance, as fear and confusion wrapped around me like a forbidden embrace. An unsettling tension lingered in the atmosphere. To find my freedom, I had to leave the confines of the bathroom behind. Though my body whispered for me to escape, I remained anchored, entranced and unable to move. Vanessa leaned in, his face tantalizingly close to mine, as his presence enveloped me, sending a shiver through the air that surrounded us. He whispered it again, his voice a soft caress in the dim light. My heart ached for your presence, a yearning that felt both thrilling and forbidden. A shiver ran down my spine as his voice caressed my ears, the air thick with an intoxicating tension. His words danced with an enchanting rhythm, yet they were devoid of any hint of tenderness or intimacy. Instead, an unusual serenity enveloped the moment, challenging all reason. In that fleeting moment, I realized that this was anything but a typical family gathering. It surpassed the innocent delights of familial love and the light-hearted giggles of youth. This was an infinitely more unsettling event. My thoughts danced in a tempest of curiosity. What ignited such a swift metamorphosis within him? What was unfolding with him? Could it be that I missed a subtle detail before, something that should have captured my attention? As I delved deeper into the intricate web of my surroundings, a haunting awareness began to settle within me. I might never fully comprehend the depths of this situation. The events that transpired were shrouded in mystery, leaving one to ponder the enigma of Vanessa's intriguing behavior. My thoughts were enveloped by a disquieting awareness that the boy I once thought I knew had disappeared, replaced by a figure so alien and unrecognizable that it sent shivers down my spine. Caleb's fingers entwined around my wrist, his hold firm and possessive, igniting a thrill that danced along my skin. His grip deepened, enveloping me in a way that left me completely at his mercy. Overwhelmed by a tempest of fear and uncertainty, I felt a profound struggle within, caught between the intoxicating desire to flee and the invisible chains that bound me to this forbidden place. I whispered, "Please," yet my voice quivered with an unspoken longing. What desires do you hold for the future? What is it that you desire? Still, he chose to keep his thoughts to himself. His gaze lingered on me, charged with a chilling determination that sent shivers down my spine. In that instant, it was clear that he was resolute in his desire to keep me from slipping away. I fought against the grip that held me captive, yet the intensity of Vanessa's gaze wrapped around me like a silken thread, binding my soul in a way that felt both enchanting and forbidden. My heart raced, a wild urge to escape coursing through me. My thoughts spiraled in a desperate search for freedom, yet the air was thick with tension, Vanessa's allure drawing nearer with each heartbeat. He drew nearer, his breath warm against her ear as he murmured, "You're not going anywhere." His voice enveloped me, rich and intoxicating, stirring a thrill that danced along my spine. His hand lingered on my arm, slowly rising, as if he were testing the waters of my response. A wave of frustration coursed through me, compelling me to cry out and push him away, yet the words lingered, held captive in silence. What could possibly drive him to behave in such a way? Where has the charming, naive boy disappeared to? The one who once gazed at me with such admiration. In the past, Vanessa possessed a delicate charm, characterized by a sweet shyness and an insatiable curiosity for the mysteries that surrounded her. Yet now, it seemed as if an invisible power had taken hold of him, guiding his every thought and desire. As the bathroom door creaked open once more, I turned quickly, a thrill of anticipation coursing through me, half expecting to catch a glimpse of my sister's shadow lingering just beyond the threshold. Still, the hallway remained desolate, with only the soft whisper of distant footsteps lingering in the air, a haunting reminder of what lay beyond my immediate reach. We discovered ourselves as the final two souls, entwined in a world that felt both forbidden and exhilarating. It became evident that decisive action was not just necessary, but essential. I made another attempt to free myself from Vanessa's grasp, yet she proved to be more formidable than I had anticipated. His grip tightened, igniting a thrilling rush of fear and desire within me. The warm water, once a sanctuary of solace, now wrapped around me like a lover's embrace, pulling me deeper into a whirlpool of longing and melancholy. Vanessa leaned in, his cool breath whispering against my neck, igniting a thrill that danced along my skin. He whispered with a tantalizing intensity, "You belong to me now, and you always have." I have been eagerly awaiting your understanding of his sentiments. It sent a shiver through me, wrapping around my senses like a heavy, intoxicating embrace. It had evolved beyond the innocent pleasures of youth. It held a captivating allure, steeped in mystery and danger. I drew in a breath, my mind igniting with a tempest of fervent ideas. He held no sway over my heart. A part of me yearned to surrender, yet I felt an undeniable urge to hold back. Yet what secrets lay hidden within him? As I looked into his eyes, I sought a glimpse of the nephew I once adored, the boy who filled my days with laughter, playfulness, and the sweet anticipation of bedtime stories. Yet, all that met my eyes was the alluring visage of a distant, calculating stranger, cloaked in mystery and unspoken desires. My thoughts wandered to the delicate shampoo bottle resting on the edge of the tub, a silent witness to the intimate moments shared within these four walls. In a fleeting moment of desire, I grasped it and sent it flying toward Vanessa. It hit him directly in the heart, momentarily breaking the spell of his focus. In that fleeting moment, I drew back from him, rising from the warm embrace of the tub. Yet the water churned with a wild intensity, and my legs felt weak and unsteady, as if they were caught in a tempest of desire. "Don't run away from me," Vanessa implored, her voice tinged with a passionate urgency. As he approached, his eyes sparkled with an intense, captivating allure. I drew back, ensnared by an overwhelming sense of dread. He had risen above the realm of simple intimidation. He yearned to bring me to the edge of pleasure and pain. My thoughts swirled in a tempest, yearning for a clandestine way out. I discovered that I could not bear to remain in the bathroom for long. Yet the idea of exploring the rest of the house stirred a thrilling sense of danger. What if he sought me out with an intensity that left me breathless? What if I found myself powerless to stop him? A shiver of trepidation coursed through me as I held the towel close, enveloping myself in its fabric, seeking comfort in a moment that felt both vulnerable and electric. Yet the solace I yearned for slipped through my fingers, rendering me as exposed as I had ever been. Vanessa's determination was palpable as he took another step closer to me, the air thick with unspoken tension. In his gaze, fear discovered no sanctuary. Instead, there lay a cold, unyielding dominance. I implored gently, my voice quivering with a mix of desire and vulnerability. "This is not a true reflection of your essence. I find myself bewildered by the grip you seem to have on my thoughts." Vanessa held her tongue as I pleaded with him to stop. As he reached out again, his hold on my arm was so intense that I feared it might break before I could slip away. In that moment, the suffocating embrace of fear wrapped around me, a sensation both thrilling and tormenting. It seemed as if my words were lost in the shadows, unheard and unacknowledged, lingering in the air like a forbidden secret. The boy I once cherished has faded into the ether, leaving behind a tantalizing and dangerous allure. In an unexpected moment, a memory stirred deep within me. It hung in the air, a whisper of something forbidden, just out of reach. Yet it seemed to reveal the hidden depths of the unfolding events. As I pondered the intriguing nuances of Vanessa's recent actions, I couldn't help but remember the hushed murmurs of enigmatic dreams and the disquieting transformation in his demeanor. While these shifts ignited whispers of intrigue, they were mostly brushed aside in the heat of the moment. Finally, all the pieces aligned perfectly. He had not simply encountered a transient instance. A curious transformation had taken root within him. I felt compelled to take my leave. I found myself compelled to navigate through this intricate challenge. I leaned in closer, straining to catch the soft murmur of my sister's words drifting through the door. Yet the distance left me yearning, unable to bridge the gap and offer my support. In the heart of this tumultuous clash, it was just Vanessa and me, entwined in a moment that felt both perilous and intoxicating. My strength blossomed from the depths of my fear. I found myself drawn into a struggle, no matter the situation at hand. With every fiber of my being, I broke free from Vanessa's grasp, a surge of desire mingling with the thrill of defiance. As I pushed him away, a brief wave of freedom enveloped me, igniting a spark of exhilaration within the confines of our tangled emotions. In a heartbeat, he surged forward with a grace that left me breathless. His hand wrapped around my wrist, pulling me closer with a force that felt almost ethereal. With a fierce determination, I grasped the shampoo bottle again, brandishing it as if it were a tool of liberation. I aimed for his face, hoping to catch him off guard, yearning for a fleeting moment that might grant me the chance to slip away into the night. He hesitated, a brief shadow of uncertainty passing over his features, but soon his eyes glinted with a newfound intensity, burning with a darker determination. "What stirs within you to hold back?" Vanessa asked, her voice laced with a hint of intrigue. His voice carried a serene authority, as though he were gently chastising me. "We share a bond, a secret that intertwines our fates. My trust in you has always surpassed that of anyone else." His hold on me softened just enough, and I seized that moment of vulnerability. I emerged from the tub, wrapping a towel around my body with a sense of urgency, ignoring the cool air that caressed my skin. My legs quivered, a thrilling rush of adrenaline igniting every nerve in my body. My heart quickened with a thrilling urgency as I dashed toward the bathroom door. I felt an irresistible pull to allow him the freedom to navigate his own path. The weight of what had enveloped Vanessa was a heavy load, one that felt too immense for me to shoulder by myself. As I swung the door open, my sister lingered in the threshold, captivated by the tumult that surrounded us. Her expression was laced with trepidation, yet I was stripped of the precious moments needed to provide the reassurance she sought. Moments melted into each other, creating a silence thick with unspoken desires. "Brandon, my heart races at the mere sound of your name," I called out, but by the time I turned back, he had slipped away into the shadows. The bathroom stood pristine, a silent witness to secrets that lingered just beyond its door. My sister rushed to my side, but I was at a loss for words, unable to convey the profound experience I had just lived through, as the sights and sensations were beyond my understanding. The enchanting essence of young Vanessa, once brimming with the joy of innocent play, now felt like a distant memory, shrouded in a veil of longing. He had morphed into a figure cloaked in shadows, exuding an allure that was both dangerous and irresistible. As my sister tried to brighten my mood, I noticed a tantalizing glimpse of Vanessa lingering in the shadows of the hallway. In the dim light, his enigmatic gaze sparkled, and a thrilling shiver coursed through me, as if he were tantalizingly close, yet just out of reach. Amidst the shadows of doubt, a singular truth shimmered with undeniable allure. The final chapter had yet to unfold. The peculiarities only intensified in the days that ensued. Amidst the house's transformed ambience and Vanessa's unpredictable behavior, the others lingered in a state of blissful ignorance, oblivious to the undercurrents swirling around them. As I tried to confide in my sister, she brushed aside my worries, labeling them as mere madness or overanalysis, leaving the heavy burden of my thoughts lingering in the shadows. Yet, deep within me, I sensed that Vanessa had crossed the threshold into a realm far beyond the innocence of childhood. Safety slipped through my fingers, for I realized that the shadows enveloping Vanessa were not mere phantoms to be banished without consequence. I held on to the belief that eventually others would unveil the truth, but by then it might be far too late to grasp what had been lost. If you desire to discover what lies ahead, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. This tale is far from finished. So much more lies ahead, shrouded in mystery and allure.